I have another how to do a Jheri Curl video for you. The steps don't change, but the client does. This is my Aunt Jean. She has gone to the same person for over 40 years to get a Jheri Curl. And she's coming to me today because her stylist has decided to retire. And she had a great stylist. She was also my stylist growing up, Miss Geraldine. But my Aunt Jean's coming to me today to get a Jheri Curl. This time on my system, I'm using the Wave by Design system. On my previous videos, I've used the Carefree Curl system, and I hadn't been satisfied with the system, so I tried to do another system. Hey, well, let's get this party started. This is a retouch, so I'm only applying the rearranger to the base. I'm only doing the new growth when I apply the rearranger. Also, make sure you don't let the rearranger be applied to the scalp. You apply it from the new growth, from the base to where the new growth ends. Always remember to use a timer. This is a timed process. Set your timer according to the texture of the hair. It lets you know how long the hair has been processing. If you don't time it, you won't know, and this is something that's crucial to keep the good integrity of your hair, of your client's hair. I always use a brush to apply a chemical, never a brush. Those bristles can affect the scalp, causes abrasions, and you don't want that rearranger to get in the scalp and causes sores. If you're familiar with doing a Jheri Curl, you'll always know how to apply to the new growth. You go section by section, making horizontal partings. After you have applied to the new growth, on one section you go to the other section. And the sections can be however you want. I typically go from the back to the front, but being that it's timed, it doesn't really matter. You just stay in the sections, but I always start in the crown because that's where the heat from your scalp rises. So you want to start with the crown and work your way down to the perimeter. The perimeter is the most sensitive part of the process, so you don't want to leave the chemical on that area too long. Work from one section to the other. Remember what section you do start with because that affects your rinsing time. Okay, after the hair has been thoroughly rinsed, you do not want to shampoo the hair. Do not shampoo, only rinse the rearranger out. Now it's time to start the roller process. You want to use the Way by Design Moisture Wrap. Section the hair for the rollers, apply the moisture wrap, and talk with the client beforehand on the size of the rollers, how they want their curls, if they want a smaller curl or if they want more body. Aunt Jean wants a more body, so we're going to use medium-sized curl. Apply the Way by Design, and when the hair starts to dry out, I always keep a water bottle on the side just to moisturize the hair and keep the you don't have to keep applying more product. The product is there. You just want to keep it moisturized. When it starts to dry out, completely roll each section however you want to roll. Some people stick with the old-fashioned way of going down the center, then going down the side. I'm not a uniform person who likes to curl going in a certain direction because we're going to have curl no matter what. After you get a Jheri curl, sometimes the parts will show. So I try to get the rollers in different directions so you don't have as many parts showing. But that goes with the consultation when you decide what the size of the rollers and how they want the hair curl. But this is a very important step because the size of the rollers will affect the curl. Once you have completely rolled the entire head, you want to cover the hair with a processing cap. This part is also timed. Whenever you see that the curl pattern, you have the desired curl pattern that you're looking for, then you know you have reached the maximum time of your processing. Now is the time to check to see if you have your desired curl pattern. You want to take an individual roller, a loose, push back, and see if you have the desired S shape. That tells you if you've reached your maximum time on your curl. You don't want to check just one, you want to check several different rollers throughout the hair to see if you have that desired curl pattern. I typically will check front and back, or a smaller roller and a bigger roller. Just depends on what I'm looking for. When you push back and you see that S shape, you know you have reached the desired curl. If you don't see it, you want to put the plastic bag back on and wait. Okay, so we reached our desired curl pattern, so it's time to rinse. You want to use tepid water, but make sure the water has low pressure on it because it will splash all over the client and you don't want to wet anybody up. But just make sure you rinse each roller to get that moisture lock out. I typically go from section to section. This ensures that I have rinsed all of the product out of the hair before I apply on the next process. Once you have thoroughly rinsed the hair, you want to go in and blot each roller with a towel to remove the excess water. It wasn't until I lifted my client that I realized that one of the bands popped on my roller, so I was trying to keep the roller in place so we'll still have curl in that area, but continue to blot each roller to get all of the excess water out before you apply the neutralizer. In the past, I would put cotton around my client's face and put the neutralizer on. Now I just leave them at the bowl. I put a stopper in the drain to catch the excess overflow. But now when I put the neutralizer in a bottle, I just keep them at the bowl and saturate each roller with the neutralizer. This locks the curl. But if you like, you can still put cotton around, set them up, and apply the neutralizer. But this is a convenient way for me for this process. So just make sure you saturate each roller with the neutralizer. It depends on the density of the hair, how much neutralizer you have to use. I always measure, start with 2 ounces, and when the excess rolls out, you can always put your bottle down in the bowl, get the neutralizer that has drained, squeeze the bottle, and suck in what you didn't use, and reapply. It's still the same neutralizer. It's gonna work. This process is also timed 5 minutes, and then you rinse. This time during the rinsing process, you want to make sure the water is a little bit cooler As cool as the client can stand, this will lock your curls better. Make sure you want to use low pressure to keep from splashing water all over the client. But you want to saturate each roller to completely rinse all of the neutralizer. When you are satisfied that you have thoroughly rinsed the neutralizer from the hair, you can start taking each roller out. I do it at the bowl. I try to take the end papers out separately from the rollers just to keep from making a mess. That's just a pet peeve of mine. But you can also roll and leave the end papers on. But I start from the front and work my way to the back. Want to keep the client as comfortable as possible. So if you want to sit them up, keep them dry, and pull the rollers, that's fine. But my preference is to let them lay back and pull the rollers out one at a time. After you have removed all of the rollers, you still want to rinse again. Make sure you keep the water cool. Thoroughly rinse again to make sure that all of the neutralizer is out of the hair. I've applied the product and trimmed her ends, and she is ready. There you have it, how to do a Jheri curl. Easy steps, a long-lasting style, very convenient. Don't let anyone joke you out of your convenience. A Jheri curl is new and improved. You don't have to worry about the drip. You don't have to worry about the maintenance either. I was honored to be able to do my Aunt Jean's hair. See you next time.